And here we go, guys. You're entering the Forest Temple, the first dungeon in the game. Now I do like this dungeon. It's has a nice little atmosphere to it. It's not all that hard as expected by your first dungeon. And it does introduce you to the standard things you see, like the dungeon map, the compass, and the item, as well as has a boss key you need to get in order to get to the boss room. Pretty standard stuff by now. If you've seen my other Zelda Let's Plays, you know what I'm talking about here. And overall, this dungeon fairly easy for your first dungeon, and I do enjoy it. So with that, on with the episode. Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last time we made our way back into the forest here to get to the temple we are in now, as well as learn a new move, the Ending Blow. So starting off this episode, we are in the Forest Temple, the first dungeon in the game. Now just like my other Zelda Let's Plays I've already done, there has been a little bio in the beginning of this video telling you guys the basic layout of the dungeon, also some of my thoughts about it. I do like this dungeon. It's a nicely designed dungeon, nice first dungeon, and it's always the forest style dungeons that I like in Zelda games. This is one of them. I don't know, I think it's the atmosphere really of this place. It's one of my more favorite dungeons of the game. Not all that hard obviously, since it's the first dungeon, but it's still pretty fun. I really do enjoy this. Along with this dungeon, like the other forest style dungeons I do like are it's Woodfall Temple from Majora's Mask, Forest Haven from Wind Waker, you got the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time. Admittedly, yeah, the Deku Tree was a good dungeon, but it was a little too short. It wasn't our first dungeon though, so that's one of its problems, but I don't know, it was an alright first dungeon. Not one of my favorites since of its length, but still a good one. If you want to get these rupees, you have to be careful with your shot. It's kind of a pain to get those down here. So, yeah, that's why. If they don't fall down to you, they'll fall down in this hole here. And that's pretty annoying. I want to go ahead and roll from this side to get this rupee. You don't need to get every single rupee, but I just like getting as many as I can. And there you go. That's the first time we've seen Link do that move. That's a little thing that you'll see Link do from time to time. When he wants to put away his sword, do a little fancy twirl like that, showing victory. You can skip that if you want by either just trying to swing your sword again or something like that to try to get out of the action. Or just don't put your sword away, obviously. Hey, that's the monkey that stole your lantern. Why, yes it is. Doesn't it look like she's beckoning you? Aren't you the popular one? Well, isn't that a good thing that we're popular? After all, my name, Link, is passed down from generation to generation of heroes. Every single hero was named Link. I just want to check what's in these pots. Just a heart, rupee. Over here is kind of the exact same thing, but in grass. Alright. Let's just go ahead and just go where the monkey wants us to go. And up ahead here should be another enemy. I do believe this is a Skulltula. I'm just gonna keep on stabbing because of the little torches here in the way. Alright, so I wanna... Actually, no, I don't want to do that just yet. I want to come down here first and whack this enemy. By doing so, attacking that enemy we just hit will cause him to curl up into a ball. You'll see another one of those guys later. But for now, you go ahead and use that to blow up this hole in the wall to get some rupees. Pretty simple, not required, obviously. So let's go back up here now and do what I was going to do before by accident. Let's go ahead and light these 4 torches. By doing so, we'll go ahead and raise those platforms below us. Also blocking that little cave there, so if you didn't get the rupees, yeah, good luck trying to get them now, right? There will be a way later that we can put out the torches, so if you really want that rupee, no worries. But let's go over here, open this chest, and inside of it is a dungeon map. Just like in any traditional Zelda dungeon, it will go ahead and show your location on the map, as well as show what rooms you have visited already in the dungeon by marking them as green rooms. A yellow arrow will indicate where your current location is, and also show you the full layout of the dungeon, just like we saw in that bio earlier. It just shows the whole entire layout. You go ahead and just zoom in, move around here with the D-pad. As you see, it's not too complex. You kind of figure as much from the first dungeon, but it's still pretty nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and go outside and... Well, let's see why this monkey wants to go out here of all places. Well, it looks like another way over. Well, that's a start. She tries to go ahead. But it looks like this other monkey wants to say otherwise with this dark shaded boomerang covered in feathers. We'll get to learn more about what that is later. As well as this guy who just, well, just slapped his butt at us like any other monkey would. And, aw, she's disappointed. Well, we can't go that way now. Guess we have to find another way around, huh? Oh, what's going on? Has there been a monkey fight? Oh no, now we can't go any farther. We might as well go back. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like she wants to take you somewhere. So, maybe you should just follow her. Do agree, we should probably just follow this monkey for now and see where she wants to take us. So since we can't go that way, she'll want to take us back to this room and lead us over here really quick by actually letting us swing on her like a vine. Nice little mechanic you're going to be seeing throughout this dungeon, so get used to that. But really quick, I want to come over here to the right. You don't have to come this way, but just knock that enemy over close enough to the boulders. If not, just pick them up and move them. And that will go ahead and open up this pathway. But as you see, there's just pots here, but one of the pots is moving. And it has a little chicken sticking out of it if you really look careful enough. See? Turn around and it... Oh, you did not just hit me. And turn around and you see the thing pop back in its pot there. And I think that was all the rupees, so let's go back and see what this thing is. Phew! Out at last. Gracious, once I got in, I couldn't squeeze back out. You were a big help. Thanks. I've been looking for something in here, you see? Gracious, yes. You must need something here too. Shall we try working together for a while, fellow adventurer? You may not think I look like much, I could be quite helpful. I can even warp you out of here if you want to leave. So, don't think of me as a burden, now let's get started. And with that you require Uku. Now look at Lake's face. He's really questioning what this thing is. Is it a chicken? Is it like half human maybe? What's with his face and everything? Well, I don't even know what this thing is kind of look. But let's just move on from there. Uku is basically like Pharaoh's Wind from Ocarina of Time. She'll go ahead and let you warp out of the dungeon if needed. And you can warp right back in. Doing so, if I warped right now, it would be from the last door you entered in the dungeon, so I would warp from here in this doorway. The only thing that makes Uku different than Pharaoh's Wind, and Pharaoh's Wind the more useful one, is two things, really. One, once you use Uku, you're warped right out of the dungeon, so you can't use it as a warp point to get in between places faster than the dungeon itself. So you can't really do that. Another thing about Uku that's different is... hang on, I gotta shoot down this spider because just watch what happens. There we go. Have him walk towards me and dead. Easiest enemy. Now, we can't go through this way because it's a locked door, so we have to find another way to go through right now. But as I was saying, another thing that Pharaoh's Wind has over Uku here is with Pharaoh's Wind, you can use that to warp wherever you want in the dungeon, just like Uku. But the thing is, one thing about Pharaoh's Wind I never showed off my Ocarina of Time Let's Play. If you went into another dungeon with Pharaoh's Wind activated in a different dungeon, say I had Pharaoh's Wind activated in the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time, and then I went into the Fire Temple, well, you can use Pharaoh's Wind to warp right back to that dungeon. It's pretty useful, actually. I'm just gonna go back this way, a little faster. But it's a pretty useful item because of that. Even though it's something you won't see yourself actually doing, I found that out by accident one day as a kid because I have Pharaoh's Wind in another dungeon and I didn't realize it. So I'm trying to go ahead and warp back to my warp point in another one, which I thought I had set in a dungeon. I warped to a completely different dungeon. So it's something I found by complete accident. And it's a kind of little useless kind of a thing, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to do that. And it's some pretty nice knowledge to have. Yeah, But anyways, you come over here, and this is just for a small key, so you have to backtrack a little bit by doing so. You have to go out of your way to get the small key. Not that big of a deal. Kind of annoying in a way, yes, but this basically gives you a sneak peek to an area you will be coming back to later. So, you just got familiar with a room you won't be seeing until a little bit later in the dungeon. Oh well, let's just go back and open up that locked door then. Yeah, but Uku though is useful. I'm not really going to show Uku's warping ability in this dungeon because I don't really need to. The only time I think I would use Uku besides this one usage I will be showing off, and it's going to be in the third dungeon of the game. It might be if I have to shut down the game for a bit while I'm recording or something and come back to pick it back up. Then I have a way to get back to the room I was in. So that will probably be the only time I actually use Uku besides what I need to use Uku for in the third dungeon, because Uku's in every single dungeon. You can find Uku in every single one. You're not always going to find Uku in the same way. In fact, one dungeon, you are required to get her. So, that you can't skip. And then in another dungeon, you have to go out of your way to talk to Uku instead of try to find her. So, yeah, pretty simple enough. But anyways, you want to go ahead and roll on this, as we saw in the beginning of the dungeon, knock over pots, do the same for the monkey, and now knock this cage down, freeing this monkey. But also summons these moblins here to come attack us. Not a big deal since I'm stronger than these guys, and my sword can do a good amount of damage. 2 slices and they're dead. Alright. Let me see, is there a heart here? Just so I can get that quarter of the heart I lost back. Alright, now with that done, you follow these two, and both of these monkeys will grab onto the rope and let you swing across. So now you see the gimmick of this dungeon. It's not just one monkey you're going to have along with you. It's going to be multiple monkeys. What you need to do for this dungeon, it's really the only dungeon in this game that has a gimmick to it like this. But in this dungeon, you need to use these monkeys to traverse the areas you can't get to on your own. And also these... They're not following me, are they? Oh, no, they are. Good. But, yeah, these monkeys will help you traverse the areas you can't get to on your own, as well as let you get to the main area we're going for, the boss room. You cannot go to the boss room unless you have every single monkey freed. So, that's what we need to do. We need to free every single monkey, and they'll help us out in return by getting to the rooms that we need their help to get to. So, not that big of a deal, really. It's a nice little gimmick, so to say, for this, because it's not really something that's too annoying. The monkeys are in pretty easy places to find, and like I said, this is the first dungeon, so it's not going to be all that hard because of that. The monkeys aren't that big of a deal. It's nice to have them. Although, when you're first playing this, you might miss a monkey, and that could be annoying, but usually that won't happen to too many people, because especially if you explore every single room, you'll find the monkeys pretty easily. Alright, but you have to go ahead and destroy that enemy, because if you try to jump over this pit here, that guy would have sucked you up and you can't get past. So let's go ahead and whack this guy again. Get another bomb, because that's what these guys turn into, bombs. And oh crap, I failed my jump. And how'd that hit me? I thought that was far enough away. Alright, let me just pick up the bomb again. And try this again. There we go. Use the bomb, throw it up there, and you unlock this room to go into. Yeah, it's probably pretty late in the video to actually talk about this, but I've been explaining so many other things about this dungeon, I haven't really paid attention to it. But, I don't know if you guys are really going to notice too big of a difference in the quality of this video. Because I had to play around with my, program I used to record with my Dazzle with to fix up some settings, because I noticed some things looking kind of pixelated and blocky. Especially when recording from my Wii. I noticed it a little bit from the PS3 because there's composite cables, but I noticed it more with the Wii with certain games. And so I had to really play around with my sharpness settings. And I think I got to a good level now where like looks good for basically any game I can play off the Wii instead of just certain ones. So if the quality of these videos now look any different, That's probably why. And that's the first time in a very long time I've actually fell for that trap. Because I didn't think I was on the tile with the enemy. As you just saw, these little enemies that pop out like that, they will push you up high like that. I thought I cleared it, but apparently I didn't. What the heck? Again? Really? Wow, that's 2 times in a row I got hit by these guys. I'm careless, apparently. Because I never, ever get launched by these guys anymore. I think the only other time I got launched by these guys was when I first played the game, because I was rushing through the area, so I didn't even see them there. I've never gotten launched like that in a very long time. I can't believe it. Oh well. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way, the little explanation of the quality. Another thing about it too is I'm using a different cable. I had to go ahead and order another S-Video cable to see if that would make my video quality from the Wii look a little better. It kinda did. It's not like a huge jump, but there is a little slight difference between cables. I really still have to play around with both cables actually I have, both S-Video cables I have to really see what's the difference in quality. But for now, I can tell there's little minor differences here and there, so I basically have 2 S-Video cables now for my Wii, and it still looks good. The Wii still looks good like this. I was doing that to make sure my video quality doesn't look all that bad, and I'm using a new cable now, so I could have went ahead and just used the other cable I had just to, well, voice crack, jeez! That was a bad voice crack of all things. But I'm going ahead to use a new cable now. I could go ahead and just use the old one to record for a bit, but the thing is, I want to go ahead and just use this because I just got it today, so I have to kind of still test it out a bit. And this recording kind of helps with that, along with the fact that, well, not just I got it today, but also the fact that I should use this anyway, so use it now, better late than never, or better earlier than never, I should say, in this case. But it's still a good cable, nonetheless. I do like it. And another thing about it is, though, it's easier to move around. I did not mean to take out my lantern or jump off. Wow. So much fail here today. I can't climb back up there. See, now I gotta go all the way around to climb back up. Inconvenience. First world problems. I fall off cliff and can't get back up in a video game. First world problems. Well, that monkey's having the same issue. Oh well. Yeah, but I'm hoping the video quality doesn't look actually lower than it did before. Hopefully, if not anything, it just looks about the same or better. I'm hoping for one of those two, and for what I've been noticing from tests, it looks the same to better, depending on game to game. And this one, it's just a tiny bit better, if not maybe the same. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be just fine. Plus, I kind of swapped back to my old system of recording this again. I was using a different program for a while to record off my Dazzle because it had a bigger screen to show while importing. So it was good for when I had to do group recordings, but it was actually making my video quality worse, believe it or not. Whenever I play around with the sharpness on this program I'm using to import my video, you know, not import, so to say, record, it's an import option on the thing was recording. The video quality, whenever I mess around with the sharpness, doesn't go down too low if I put the sharpness down lower. But in the other program I was using, when I put the sharpness down, it lowered the sharpness quite a lot. So the video was starting to look more blurred. In this program, I had the sharpness down kind of low, and it doesn't look blurred at all. It looks just fine. It just has less and less noise in the picture, which is a good thing, because I don't want any noise in my picture. So, yeah, that's another thing. And I've been mostly talking about the quality of my video for almost 5 minutes now, and I haven't been talking about the game too much. So we just freed 2 more monkeys in that whole entire talk of mine. This one we had to go ahead and kill that big old enemy we're not going to see till a very long time again, because there's only 2 of them in the game. This being one of the only times you see it. And all you gotta do, as you saw, when you kill the head, just throw a bomb in its main body to go ahead and kill the thing. It's like the enemy we saw from over here, which actually we have to kill another one really quick to get a item in a dungeon that usually you do not see in dungeons in Zelda games. But this is one of the Zelda games that do it. Drop a bomb down to this enemy, he'll eat the bomb and explode just like always. But what we want to do now is inside that chest, we want to go ahead and open it up and grab what's inside. And inside this treasure chest is none other than a piece of heart. This Zelda game is one of the Zelda games that have pieces of heart in its dungeons. There's 2 pieces of heart for every single dungeon, so make sure you grab those when you're in it. Not that hard to really do, because you never have to backtrack to a dungeon in the Zelda game to get heart pieces. You can get them right away, unless you miss a heart piece. Then you would have to backtrack, but usually you don't miss them. Might be some that are a little hard to find, but if you explore a bit, or just play around for a while, you'll find them. Not that hard really to do. But these monkeys want to lead us outside again where that broken bridge is. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that next time, guys. So, why is Link not even looking to the camera? He's trying to look at the monkeys. No, look at me, Link. Look at me, Link. There you go. I have to walk pretty far away if you do this. Jeez. Don't want you to fall off. Anyways, next time Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we're going to go ahead back outside and see what these monkeys want from us and want to show us now. So, I'll see you guys next time.